Okay, we are starting up. I hope you guys liked that new little stinger video there. Start about 10 minutes early. It seems to help. A few of you are on right now. So instead of me waiting, they said it takes an average of 18 minutes before you start getting a decent audience. They recommend those. So I tried to see what was going to happen. So tonight is my chill time. I'm sorry I didn't show up yesterday. That was supposed to have been the day, but I could not get this system to work no matter what I did. And I just kept pushing it and then pushed it to today. And I just got back from a little housing tour thing, which I hope to make a video about and put it up for you guys. So tonight, I'm just going to go through the numbers as usual. Anybody has any questions? Those of you maybe watching the replay at another time, ask those questions still, and I'll try to get to them in the comments. And as always, if you are looking for some help, my information hopefully is below. Call, text, email will help you out there. And let's go ahead and get on with the show so I can sit here and enjoy myself and chill and relax and go over these numbers. And as I do, I notice, I used to do this during the weekends, and then I was like, okay, most people are streaming during the week, but I hadn't changed this yet. So it's on the agenda along with a new little 10-minute countdown. It just got done like right before when I started this countdown. But anyway, let's go on in here. And you know how I like to do this. I like to see what's going on live. I don't look at this ahead of time because I want to be surprised. So let's get surprised. We're going to look at the last 7 days. 864 came on market. 219 are back on market, which of course we've talked about this before, means something happened. They were under contract and right back. Price decreases 530, price increases 147. It's about normal for the decreases and increases. Nothing to show there. I am encouraged by this number here. It's up a little bit. I'm probably gonna have to start like marking down what I got the week prior. That way I can like tell you what the delta is. But of course, since I'm doing this on a different day, it doesn't matter as much. Under contract and under contract no show, 342 and 647. Sold. This is actually surprising here. So look at this. The sold over that 7-day period is less than the newest that came on market. Yet I'm seeing all kinds of crazy news out there, including this is some of February had like the highest numbers that have been recorded for a long time. We'll see. Expireds 52. We are nowhere near the beginning of the month. So this is actually a surprising number in the middle of the month like this or near the end of the month. Usually going to have a spike at the end / beginning of a month. These expired homes, unfortunately, didn't sell. And usually it's because of price, but I'm not going to go over that too much today. Temp off market, I'm not going to go over withdrawns. Again, people who wanted to try the market, most of them, some of them, they have a situation where they withdrew because, let's say they had a job, they were putting their house on the market, that fell through. Unlike the expires, but some of the expires are actually withdrawns and conditionals and everything else. It's just that, let me see if I just pop it up here for just a sec. So you see, withdrawn conditionally to expired because the house is still under contract, even if it's off the market. But that just depends on the kind of deal you work out with your agent. I'm going to talk about a few little agent things here today, hopefully. Coming soon, 92. That is very encouraging. So hopefully we'll have some housing stability. I got some little articles up here I'm probably going to go through today, and one of them is real interesting. So that's if we have time. They're kind of like just to left and right. We're going to knock out a few little things. Contingent on sale. This is basically just under contract. They just have a new thing here, so you can look at the ones that are contingent on sale. And the reason I think they're doing this is one of the things about if you accept a contingency on a house, because they have a house to sell. One thing that may happen to you, let's say somebody goes, "Oh man, I like that house. I'm going to go ahead and put an offer in on it." Well, you got the, like the under contracts. In the past, you could have done that, but this way it's telling you that it's contingent on sale of another house, and there is not fine print. As none of it's fine, the same size. There's a clause in the contract for purchase that if somebody else makes an offer on the house, you have to cure that. In other words, you have to remove the contingency. If you can't like remove the contingency, you must sell in order to do that. I mean, you can take a chance, but it may not work out for you. But so that's probably the reason they did it, make it easier for people who are going, like, especially if the market gets really tough. Because like when the market was tough before, it was just really hard to find somebody who would take an offer if you had a house to sell. So let's go back on into this now. And now let's look at the numbers. So we're going to look at all of these. Let's look at what's active first. So total to the market. And the way I like to do it is just Las Vegas, North Las Vegas, and Henderson. There's more out there like Boulder City and Prompt and stuff like that. If someone wants a breakdown, I can go to those places. Right now, total market is 4638. We break it down by condos. It's 815 that are actually active out there. Manufacturer, I'm going to go ahead and go over it for you. 87 of them. Residential or single family residential, 3317. Townhomes are 419. Let's just look at some just quick little stats here. So for townhomes, so the average list price right now is $371,950. We'll come back and look to see what they sold for so far this month, because at this point in the month, we're going to have a very good indication of what the sales are. So just looking at single family homes, 568 is the median list price. But look at this. You saw these homes, there are 3,317 homes on the market. The median is 568. This is the reason I sit there and I go like, hey, you got to look at the median. The average is $1 million. Makes me sound like Dr. Evil when he first got unfrozen. $1 million. Well, this is the reason why. This is skewing it to the right. That's statistics talk. So let's get back in here. Let's go ahead and take a quick look at the manufactured homes, because some people like manufactured homes. Results are, this is going to surprise you. I bet you it's going to surprise you. The median list price is $253 with the average $246. Skew left, pretty close. But the good old days of I need to find some place for 100,000. Manufactured homes is not it right now. Condominiums, 815. Let's go ahead and look at these results. $255 and $326 respectively. Because remember, with the condos, you're going to have those places like Queens Ridge and the places down on the strip where the the penthouse, $14.5 million. That skews it. Let's get back in here. Now we're going to go ahead and look at what I know you're really here for. See what the market is doing. That's what people asked for. You don't always get what you ask for, even though a closed mouth never gets fed. I'm going to take this off for a second. So we've had 1,527 sold homes so far this month. 202 are condos. Let's take a look at what has sold. Come on. Okay. The median list price was 249.9. Median closed price was 245. So this is a good thing for if you're out there buying, because right now, even though they're a decent condo has multiple offers, people are not on median, on average, even here on average, are not paying over the list price. 23 days on market for the median, 44 for average. A lot of that average is because people are just putting their places out there hoping to get something. It's not a good situation. The average, the list price was 250, 286, 278 for sold. So again, people are not paying over. The max price was $1.7 million. Okay, let's get on to the next. And that's going to be our manufactured, just because some people may want to know. 22 sold. Look at that. 228 for the list, 220. I'm just going to stick with that from this point on. They're kind of close numbers. So 220. So expect to actually pay in that ballpark for a manufactured home. Single family residential, 1185. Oh, this is So far this month, we're at 469.9 with the median list price of 470. So it's actually a little bit encouraging. When I did the last one, I think it was a little bit higher than this. So we are $12,000 from the all-time high. $12,000. Just so you have that one in your nugget there. That's interesting. So we had some really good spikes. We had one, it's over 19.7 million. They asked 22 million for it. I'd love to go see it. I need to have a different thing because it's just really strange. You know, even though this is public record, it's easy for you to find some of this stuff. People just lose their minds. You showed my house. Okay, 148 for townhomes. Yet, if I pull it from Zillow or something, it's not a big deal, or my very own website. 343 as opposed to 348 500. So people are not. This isn't good old days. And I think there's an article that I have here that kind of goes through that. So let's go back. I want to just go over some of these little things that people have asked. I'm going to concentrate on single family. You'll always have people going, like, I want a one story. I want a one story. Okay, one story is very popular. They're more expensive, and that's because it's cheaper to build up than to build out. So they're going to cost more per square foot. If you look at the results of that, just so you know, median price on a one story was $450,000. They spent 16 days on the market. And let's see here. We have people who go like, hey, I want a pool. Let's see how many sold with pools. 285 sold with pools. Where's the results? And we got $620,000 is the median price, average of 961. Pretty sure this here has a little something to do with it. Remember, that's a lot of house there. Okay. We got people who are asking about repos, foreclosures. There were 7 foreclosures so far this month. Results in them. 419 was the price. 429 was the list price. So an asset management company sets this price based upon several things. So it should be a market price. So people are coming in and they're paying 10,000 less on a foreclosure right now. So using this as a guide, you may be able to save a little bit of money if you go for a foreclosure. Maybe. Let's see here. Let's get this out. Short sales. We had 3. I'm not even going to pull that up to see what they were. Let's see here. Types of financing. We're going to do them all here. So of all of the home sales, 1,559. Here's a number here you're asking. Were cash. Conventional was 1,522. FHA 1163. VA. Okay, that don't that. Oh, you know what? That's the type considered. I'm sorry. The sold terms, cash. That didn't make sense. 422. Haha. It's the Canadian devil. FHA 265. See what happens when you do it live? VA 115. And conventional, which should have been earlier, 721. So you can see cash and conventional takes the cake there. VA leading up the rear of the major loan types. And of course, I have people looking for, let's see here. What about these active adult communities? 103 of the sales were in active adult communities. Most of the active adult communities here are single family homes, but they do, believe it or not, do have townhomes in the major ones. And there are active adult communities here that are mobile homes. So they're all on the east side. If anyone really wants to see anything about them, let me know. I'll just shoot over there, see if I can get some done. Just get that out of there. Let's see here. I'm not going to do horse properties. Or something else. Yep, we always got people who want to say, I want to live in a gated neighborhood. Of those, it was 609. That's actually a good percentage, because if I take that out, 1557. But if I just break that down, but single family, because most of the condos are going to, and a lot of the townhomes are going to be in gated communities. So 1185, and we go back here to gated, 385. So about a third are in gated communities. Now, I did a little video on that about safety and stuff. People are always going like, oh, I want to live in a gated community for safety. Here's the problem. People, especially people here in Las Vegas, do not have patience. And you want to get into a gated community, all you got to do is drive to the gate, park off to the side, or drive up to the front. They're not going to sit there. They're just going to use their code, or they're going to push a little button or whatever, and you're going to get in. And you're paying extra for that. They're all going to get in. It doesn't matter. I think I put a video out about, I'm not sure. Somebody broke into all the mailboxes. I live in a gated neighborhood. somebody came in one night and broke into every mailbox and stole every dadgum thing in the community. So it's another thing I have about these mailboxes. I ought to have a video on it. It's a pet peeve of mine. It doesn't matter. You can live in a $8 million house. You got one of those community mailboxes on the corner. Talk about laziness. You don't even get your mail in time anymore. Let's see here. Association fee. Let me make sure I'm sharing this with you, because you got people who are going like, I don't want to live in an HOA, and I'm still on single family home. So $1,185 of that $874 were in HOAs. Now I bet you if I do this, watch this. So we'll go no, and you'll find out something interesting. 311 were not. If I go to the map, I'm actually surprised. I was going to expect most of them to be over here, some in here. It's interesting. There's actually a bigger mix than I expected. I expected some down here. Expected a lot over here. And here's Spring Valley. Yeah, expected some. Old Henderson. No, I don't want to click on that. But I have noticed there are some neighborhoods that are built because people don't want HOAs, and they're kind of expensive like that. Let's see. Is there anything else anybody has ever asked me recently? Just want to make sure. Okay. Boom. That's it for that. So let's go ahead and just look over what the beginning of the month looked like so we can kind of keep ourselves in check here. So last month, 460. So we tell you, 470 is probably going to be the number right now. So we've gained another 10,000 in value there. And I forgot what because I need to go and look at condo and townhome, because you got to combine them because they do. So condo and townhome, 350 sold. Make sure I don't have anything selected here. Easiest way is just to unselect everything. Yep. So the median close price so far this month is 285, 283. So looks like they've gone up about $2,000. Let's go on back here and start. So you kind of see prices are still going up at this rate. Based on where we are at this time of the year, it was May numbers that had the top of the market, which was the 482 for the median price of a home. We were not this far along at this point. So at this rate, if it continues, and I don't see how it can continue because the interest rates and everything, but if it continues, we're going to hit the high price before we did before. So you're looking at going into the summer at about 485, 490. It's just the way it is. Okay. And just real quick, just cover the news, then get myself some to eat here because this is running later than I intended. How much you need if you make 140,000 a year for the house. They talk about the 2836 rule. So basically the most that you can afford in total debt, but for housing, they're expecting about 2367. Okay, if you looked at this back when the interest rates were under 3%, that bought you a really nice house. That actually bought you about not including taxes and everything like that, that bought you like an $800,000 house. Let's see what it buys you right now. So 36, 3267. So I'm going to pull out my little mortgage thing here to see what the national rates are today. This is from Mortgage News Daily. Oh, they came down. 6.96%. I'm going to assume, because I got to back into it. I know this is going to be about a $475,000 house. And we're going to say it's 3% conventional. I'm not quoting you any rates. I'm just saying what they say here. I don't know what anything else. I'm surprised I have to keep saying this stuff. I'm only going to take into account this stuff. I'm not going to take into account home insurance, which, by the way, is going up. I probably need to make a video on that. People, especially in Florida, are trying to get the heck out of that place because their insurance is killing them. Oh man, look at that! I didn't even do this ahead of time. What did I say here? 3267. 30. What? Where is it? That's close enough for government work there. Let's see what you can actually afford. If you looked at historical, okay, last month, the house you can afford is, let's see here. Come on, stop that. So let's go. I'm going to assume a single family right now. So 1185, the midpoint is, I'm going to use a calculator. Reason I'm using the midpoint is, no, actually, no, what I need to, yeah, the midpoint should be in that range. No, I'm going to do it like this. So we have a price between 470 and 480 to bring that down. 41 homes sold. Here are the results. So there we go, 475. I'm just going to look at the pictures. So because of the interest rates, 3% down, this is a representative of a house you could have bought. I hope that's helpful to someone. Okay. And from there, let's see here. I left California for Las Vegas, even after a $39,000 pay cut. She has a bigger house. She's able to save more. The quality of life improved. That's easy. That's because of there's no taxes here as far as income taxes. For sales taxes, they're close but no cigar to the California thing is here in Las Vegas or Nevada, you don't have to pay for pay taxes on food, medicine, or anything like that. I'm sorry, food that you buy in the grocery store that cannot be consumed immediately. Anything else, there's no taxes on. So that is a good thing. Next, this is the most frightening one. Now they have done some foul stuff. There is I think his last name is Wyatt, W-Y-E-T. This dude moved from California, or actually San Francisco, I think, to Las Vegas. They hounded the heck out of this guy to try to prove that he was still living in California so they could continue to pay taxes. He created something. He was an inventor or scientist or engineer or whatever. And they're just starting to do this. They're trying to charge an exit tax. And I don't see how that's constitutional. This is one of the reasons you need to get the heck out of California. I'm thinking about probably making a video on this and some other stuff I've discovered, because I discovered something this week that was a nuclear bomb. And it's like people don't even know this. I'm serious. If you've ever heard of this, put it down in the comments. I read Reddit a lot, or go through Reddit a lot. Actually, I watch the videos of people reading Reddit, or now robots read it. So there was a person asked a question in a legal forum on r/like legal advice or something. and it was a single mother. She had a child. I think it was a boy, and the neighbor who wasn't working, I think it was like a retiree or something, would watch her kid while she was at work. Well, the guy decided that he was going to move, which we have a right to do in a free country. She was asking the question, saying that he had taken on a fatherly role by taking care of her child while she was at work. Could she sue him for child support? I thought it was like, you dummy. I found out there's a handful of states, California, of course, being one of them, that is actually a thing. Let that sink in. If you have you could be married even. Let's say you take the kid to school every day because they're friends with your kid and it's a single mom. They could literally sue you for child support because you took a fatherly role. Mother's doing bad, you invite the kid over, you feed them, you stop feeding them for some reason, or maybe she just decided to get a wild hair. In California, she can sue you for child support. People need to get the heck out of that place. It's beautiful, beautiful weather. Lot to do. I'm sorry. This stuff is just crazy. It's hard to believe. Let's see here. This one's about is home prices have actually come back to a national historic norm. So remember the Goldilocks years, unicorn years, where prices are going up $5,000 and $10,000 every month, even though it seems like that is the case right here in Las Vegas right now. Overall, prices are returning to a historical norm, which is not 10,000 bucks a month. So good for you for the home buyers, for home sellers. I don't know. We'll see. Because I'm sure you want that money. I remember one individual approached me. It was like at the height of the market, when everything was going nuts. The person goes, because they help them buy the house, they were thinking about selling. Well, how much can I get for it? I want to maximize what I can get. So I ran the numbers, showed them what they could get. And they was like, oh, I was expecting more. I owned the house less than 3 years and it was double what they paid for it. So people that lost kind of senses of things that are going on. I had one seller, it was on, I sold two of their houses. And they were on, it was like for another one. And no, I sent them the comps of what sold there. Uh, I'm going to say for this point, the husband. It was like, man, she was really mad at you. I'm like, what was she mad at me for? Those numbers you sent, they were just too low. She wanted you to send higher numbers. I'm like, what? Then again, so one, and it was just sitting there, sitting there, sitting there. And I said, you got to lower the price. No, let's try this. Let's try that. Sitting there, sitting there. And then it's like, okay, we'll lower the price. That day, multiple offers. And it wasn't by a lot. It was like $5,000. It is strange how these little bitty things will tweak it out. Let's get back here. So you can see what the numbers were when we did this. It's not the crazy times or anything. Of course, it's going to do that. This is I'm sure you've seen this. People or especially realtors, are losing their nuts right now. It has to do with this lawsuit. I don't even want to call them lawsuits. I want to call them money grabs. And it's going to be the last laugh on the people participating. Because here's the thing. They've just estimated, because the National Association of Realtors agreed to pay 418 million. Three other real estate firms have agreed to pay some money. But if you take all the money that's been agreed to settle all the lawsuits across the country, if you were to take the classes of people and who is actually eligible before legal expenses, each person is entitled to $27. That's before legal expenses. And if you got those if you own a house and if you got them I mean, actually, I went to people who did from all these law firms talking about you should be able to sue all this stuff. You know, like those commercials you had back in the, I don't know what the commercials say. I haven't looked at television in a few years. Do you cough at night? Call the law offices of Dewey, Cheatham, and Howe. So I've talked about, I got a video. I think it's supposed to come out either today or tomorrow, may already be out. And it's just, these are my opinions and my opinions only. It was nothing but a money grab. It's kind of like these lawyers who sued Elon Musk, and where he said he shouldn't have gotten so much. You know, they want $5 billion in company stock. It was just a good way to go, like, oh my God, we can get a bunch of money, and they're going to get it. And the people are going to get screwed because the stuff they have out there is ridiculous. I'm going to share this with you. I'm going to move it up in the pile here. Hold on. So let's see here. So this is one of the conditions is we now have to have a buyer's broker's agreement, buyer representation. So before, you know, you could go, oh, I want to go see some houses. You call up a realtor friend or something. That's over with. You must sign a buyer representation. And it's going to be difficult on some people. Possibly meeting with somebody this weekend, and I know this type of person who ain't going to want to sign one of these. I said ain't. He ain't going to want to sign one of these. And it's like, do I start even looking for houses before they come into town? Because I don't want to waste my time doing that when they're going to be like, I ain't signing this. This is required now. Boom, overnight, complete change. I may do a different video on that, but I mean, I may have my VA put the actual settlement down. You'll see it on page 27. So you can have it in black and white. So when you walk up to a realtor and you want to do the old, you saw a sign, you call them up and they go, I would like to see your house. Okay, I need to send you this. Are you working with a realtor? Well, I'm not. Oh, great. I'm going to send you this paperwork and you need to sign it before I can show you this house. Remember, it could be a one-day thing. A buyer broker agreement doesn't have to be 90 days or 60 days or a year or anything like that. It can be one day. I want to see houses today. Thing is, if you see a house that you like, if you go in later, my realtor was on vacation, because that realtor showed you that house that day, you're contractually obligated. And a lot of this has to do with parts of the lawsuit, because in the lawsuit, one of the arguments was, well, the buyers didn't have a contract with their agent, so they shouldn't have been paid, or the buyer's agent. No, the buyers shouldn't have had a contract with their agent, or should have had and didn't. So that's why it's being mandated now. And there's some strange stuff of changes that are going on that's probably going to drive a lot of people out of the business. Yeah, I mean, everything has to be completely redone. The entire real estate industry is being flipped upside down. And my next video I'm going to be talking about this and how they're going to be screwing over veterans. Because right now with the current laws and these changes, veterans, you're about to get hosed in ways you've never been hosed before. Just going through them. What happens when your house sits on the market too long? I can tell you what will happen to you. Here's what happens. You're going to get less money. So everyone who does I want to try the market for a few days, see if I can get this price. That's actually not a bad thing. It's when it sits on the market. When your realtor comes to you and they go, you need to lower the price. You're like, can we try it one more week? Maybe, if you bring me a California buyer, let's just try it a couple of more. These people, it's been proven statistically, get less money. Because here's what happens. I see this all the time. Working with a buyer, and then they go, oh, this house has been on the market for 60 days. I can offer less. which is what happens in the end. And now I look at it, I'm like, oh, I see what happened here. They played the let's see if we can get this amount of money game. That's not the way life works. It works on the market. That worked maybe in actually it didn't even work when the market was crazy. I have this video. I don't know if I can find it to try to link it later or something. And I called it the doll house. Was the most perfect house that I've ever seen. The owners were I don't know what would you call them, Imagineers, worked down on the strip and like Cirque du Soleil and stuff. The house, oh my god, it was so gorgeous. Nothing, no offers, too because it was too high price. When I went through that house, I was like, I couldn't believe this house. I've had one that was really close. These guys listened to me, priced it right, and they got out at the top of the market. I mean, like here. Remember when I showed you those numbers? Like I didn't show them today. 482 was the top of the market for the median price. They sold at that time. They got $60,000 over. 60. Next month, things started tumbling down. So they're lucky. But if they had tried to list it for that 60,000 extra, they wouldn't have got it. And then they probably would have gotten, 100,000 less when it was all done because the house would have sat there for, 60, 90 days. I was doing this just the other day, looking at houses with people. And it's like, well, why did this house sell for less? Or why did they give, because I mean, it's even not right now, it's hard to get somebody to pay your closing costs. But it's like these closing costs are covered. Why? And you look in each case, the house was almost on the market for 100 days or more. So then the sellers got desperate. Don't get desperate. Oh, by the way, if you're looking to buy a house and you need closing costs, look for desperate sellers. Go in there and go, okay, how many houses have been on the market for 90 days? 60 days is actually good enough. Oh, these are houses. Okay, let's look. Okay, they overpriced it. Okay, let's wait. So some of them they're just hard headed. I'll make a right price offer. Have your agent present it and show the comps. Some of the sellers don't care about the comps, and then ask for the closing cost. Because a pet peeve of mine is, especially when the market was really hot, you'd have the banks because they want to get some money. They make a lot more money than people realize. Those the lenders. So when you go to your loan officer, yeah, they make a lot. The reason being they make less than, let's say, on a transaction than a realtor traditionally has. Things about to change. Thing is, they do a lot more transactions. So let's pretend you made $2,000 off a transaction. We're just making that up. But you did 20 transactions in a month. How much money did you make that month? Now multiply that times 12. That's what the loan officers make. So yes, but they want to keep making that whatever it is. It's more than 2,000, by the way. And the 20 number is actually pretty accurate. I've actually heard one person, they went and bought a whole bunch of stuff, and like at one point it's like, I did 36 transactions last month. It's like we start bragging about the new crap you done bought. But they'll tell stuff like, well, if the person needs closing costs, if the house is 500, just ask for 510, and then they can pay the difference. The seller will pay the difference. You know what? You'll do that, and it'll work too. Here's the problem. There's this thing called an appraisal. If somebody didn't have the money to pay closing costs, they ain't got the money to pay the gap. Just a fact. Talking too much. I just saw this one, so I haven't had a chance to read over it. Let's see here. Let's see if this works. I'm trying this new little thing. Nope, didn't work this time. I'm hating this. It works some days it doesn't work. So anyway, that in order to have a live in sustainable comfort in Las Vegas, a single adult would have to make $94,000 $40,000 a year, or 45, 40. I'll tell you right now, most people do not make that money. I'll try it here. This is like really bugging me. It'll work sometimes and it doesn't. I haven't read this, so I'm not going to go over it. I want to highlight this dude. Hopefully, I'm going to be listing his house soon. He's got several businesses. One of them is a food truck business. Please go check him out and find out where his truck is. I'm just doing a shout out. I just saw it right before I came on. Go show him some love. Got some of that good Southern cooking. Get down to Mel's Holy Grill now. Look at that. Just smoke that pig, baby. So please go down. I'm not going to go through this. It's too much information. Okay, I think we got most of it covered today. Again, please go down and talk to Mel. I have not seen any questions today. We're approaching the end of our hour. I want to keep it succinct, give a little bit of your time back to you today. I want to hang around for another minute and a half or so and answer any questions that may pop up. Uh, while I'm doing that, see if anyone pops up. There are a few people on here right now. I'm thinking of taking this just for a month, just see what happens, to a nightly like live stream, with the big live stream being on like this. But like how you saw me go through the real estate news there, I want to get like a little bit deeper into more news. So the daily, like how many listed and all that stuff. And it's going to be like a little quick hit, little, sipping on some Kool-Aid at the middle of the night and going, hey, you guys have any questions? 10, 15 minutes. Anybody ask questions while I go over stuff, go over the news of the day. Nice quick hit, kind of just winding down the day. Don't know what I'm going to call it yet. I'm thinking about the market wind down or something like that. Anybody have any questions? Leave them below. Or any suggestions? Leave them below, especially if you're watching on the replay, because oh man, April will be tough. I actually have places to be in April. So should they be? Maybe I can make them without some of them being live, because there's some conferences coming into town and big conferences I like to go to. Because like we have one coming up. There's a YouTube guru. He actually lives here in Vegas, or at least he did. I think he still does. Named Sean Cannell. If you go to Think Media on YouTube, it's got like 2 million subscribers. He runs that. I just poked myself in the eye. Yeah, every year he has this big event for YouTubers. So I go there. At least I want to go. Oh, I've already paid for it. So I'm going there so I can become better at my craft. There's another one. I haven't signed up for it yet, but I kind of know the guy. Well, not kind of, I know the guy. But he's become very big, and I want to like maybe go to his, because it's like following that one, because I know he's going to be there because he goes every year. So anyway, that's all I got. Nobody asked any questions tonight. Ask any questions in the comment below for those of you who are watching on the replay, and I'll try to get them answered. And I'll see about doing that once a day for 30 days for the month of April. Except for maybe on the days I'm supposed to do this, it'll be the full thing. So I want to get that wind down done, or whatever I'm going to call it. So some people call them wind downs, but I don't drink. Anyway, that's all I got for you today. Hope you enjoy your day. If you want to get a hold of me for some real estate stuff, call, text, email. Better yet, there should be a calendar link below. Get on the calendar. More than happy to help you out. And of course, if you haven't subscribed, can you hook a brother up and subscribe? I see people are leaving because I'm saying goodbye. So, goodbye.